All right. Welcome back, everyone. Hey, Al, how was your weekend?
It was good. We had a birthday party, not for me. It was a little kid's birthday party. My girlfriend's niece, or nephew, sorry, birthday party. So that was fun. Um, lots of little kids running around, sneezing and coughing on me. Um, the joys of coming to children's events. But it was fun nonetheless. And then just just fun on the weekend, getting some food, relaxing. Because we got a lot of travel coming up here pretty soon, don't we?
Oh, yes, yes, we do. Does it mean that, by the way, I need to wear a face mask for this podcast?
No, no, I'm fine. Just a little bruised ego, and I couldn't break the pinata.
Did you like swing and then you like just spin around 360, just
Swing,
missed?
swing and a miss, and then they say age catches up with everyone. Well, after that swing and a miss, my back was like, no, no, no more. You're good. Good. So that was a good time. You know.
Well, mine was pretty awesome in the sense got a lot of work done this weekend. Had a lot of stuff going.
Awesome.
Not as much fun as you. I mean, uh, my back didn't give out, but definitely my brain did give out. Anyways, welcome to the podcast, everyone. Yeah, my name is Josh. That's Al, and each week we actually talk security, cybersecurity, physical security, operational security, and the risks it brings to the business. And so this week it's a special episode, as you can see from the title. We are previewing ISC West 2025 predictions and seeing what we're looking for in this season's ISC West. For those of you who aren't familiar with ISC West, and you're coming from the cybersecurity industry, where I come from, ISC West is the equivalent of the RSA conference. It is their big show that comes around every year in Las Vegas. Quite literally, the who's who shows up in Las Vegas and is quite the sight to behold. I will promise you that. So if you ever come from RSA or you want to experience what RSA or you've experienced what RSA comes like feels like, it's in Vegas just for physical security folks. And it's a very great experience for those of you, wanting to learn a little bit more about this space.
Yeah, and I think the great thing about we've got multiple security conferences a year when it comes to physical security and like executive protection and all that fun stuff. Like we got GSX is the big one, ASIS is the big industrial security organization. So GSX is kind of the really big event. Um, but I think ISC West for me is like the fun event. It's like the fun conference. It's like you get to go there. The atmosphere is fairly relaxed. What I like about it is, you just you're seeing a lot of the new technology that's emerging, kind of the convert, and we talk about this a lot on the converged side of things, where physical and cyber are coming together. You see a lot of great solutions, a lot of good platforms, a lot of new companies sprouting up. But the conference is just very laid back. Like there's just not, you go to some of the other conferences in the security industry, everyone's wearing a suit, kind of stuffy, very formal. Um, you know,
Well,
this
I don't know about you. I'm gonna be wearing a suit, so I'll be very stuffy for you.
well, there's a fun suit, and then there's like a formal suit, right? there's I've got to walk in a court suit, and I'm in Miami suit, so
Oh, I subscribe to Kingsman on this one.
yeah,
The suit is the modern gentleman's armor.
that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, I think everyone gets what I'm saying. I mean, it's even if you're wearing a suit, it's a relaxed environment. You're having a good time. Everyone's really open to talking, and typically, I think this will be my third or fourth time there. It's all blurring, but I've always found that the emergent tech, like from the first time I went on the floor to look at some of the technology to like where we're at today and some of the things that we think are going to come out, it really is Moore's law in action that you get to see it live, and I think it's pretty awesome. Um, I'm gonna share the website real quick, just so everyone can kind of see what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Um,
And while Al pulls up the wonderful website, in the description, I left my speaker link in there. So fair disclosure, I am speaking this year at ISC West. I will be talking on security convergence, part of a panel with some amazing folks there as well. So the code the link below is we'll be posting gives you access to a free expo hall pass. So you get it to go for free. So enjoy it and take advantage of it. And yeah, have
yeah,
fun. We'll hope to see you in Vegas,
yeah, absolutely. It'll be a good time.
especially if you go karaoke at 3 o'clock in the morning. I did that last year. Hey, I did
What
that with
happens
the
at
legend.
ISC stays at ISC, right?
Well, you know, I'm an slightly embarrassed this person because she's awesome. But the legendary Sandra Sibbards
Oh,
has a
Sandra.
voice. She
Yeah,
has a
yes.
voice
Got
of an angel.
vibes for the small package that she comes in. She's got very like the sound projection is not what you would expect. So, but
She has the voice of an angel. Believe me, she rocked it last year.
absolutely. Well, share my
Anyway,
screen. So, if you guys want to take a look more, it's discoverisc.com. March 31st to April 4th are the dates. I think both Josh and I will be there. I think over all those dates. So I think I'm getting in on the evening of the 31st, and I'm not flying out till either the 5th or the morning of the 5th, I think is when I'm flying out. So, I'll pretty much be there. So like 5 nights of karaoke, here we come, but,
hey, it was fun.
yeah, I mean, it was sad. I mean, like I said, this is the fun conference for security. And I'll say this too, when you look at, admission prices, and floor expo passes, $125, relatively cheap for a security conference. So I think it's a great value just to get the floor badge. If you're able to, if you're interested in seeing the speakers, obviously Josh would love to see you. Um, you can get the upgraded badge, which gives you access to more stuff, and you get to see the speakers, you get to go into sessions and engage in other ways. But if you're just trying to check it out, like maybe you've only got a couple days, like 2 days, you can come in. Highly recommend the Floor Expo badge, $125. And on
Well,
Josh,
actually, it's not even $125 with my link. They get it for
that's
free.
right. With Josh's link, we you get it for free. You get the floor badge for free. So and we put that in the link. We put that in there. So anyone watching this, you have access to get a free pass to ISC West Floor Expo pass. And then I checked. So I booked travel last like Friday at the last minute, like I tend to, because my schedule is always chaotic. Hotel rooms were not too crazy. You're not necessarily going to get in the Venetian or in Harrah's or Caesars where this thing is located, but there's some adjacent properties that have some decent rates, decent rooms. So it's still quite doable if you want to come in just for a day or two and get a decent hotel room. And flights, I mean, depending where you're coming from, anyone coming from the Western United States, I mean, into Vegas, Southwest is running a special. I think it's $59 one way into Vegas. So, like, I think the networking connections you're going to make at ISC West, and because it's kind of a laid back atmosphere, laid back attitude, I think if you're a big networker, you want to expand your network, you want to get to know a lot more people in the industry, like myself and Josh. It's really easy to come network. There's events every evening. I know my company, we're hosting a few dinners. I'll probably be hosting a few events as well, after parties,
Hey,
cigar night,
karaoke night again.
and definitely karaoke, like 100%. Uh, Always going to be karaoke, 10 out of 10 recommend. Karaoke in Vegas will happen every night. Um,
Hey, Sandra, if you're listening to this, you're invited.
yeah, absolutely.
And
And
you're
Sandra will
and
be
you're
there as
and you're head
well.
and you're headlining, by the way, too, by the way.
Sandra usually joins us there, and we have a blast. So it's a great experience. Like I said, it's a great experience. Really, really hope you guys can all join us. And if you are in Vegas at the time, hit us up on LinkedIn, or if you have our personal phone numbers, hit us on a text message if you're in town. I love hanging out with dudes and dudettes in Vegas, going to your booth, giving you a high five, taking a selfie. It's fun. It's fun for me to go do that. And then we can meet up later, um, somewhere on the strip or somewhere in a restaurant and enjoy some good food together. It's always a great time. So I'm all about it.
Yeah, let's I don't know about good food, but I'm trying to avoid the what's that? Is it Lux Cafe? I'm
Yeah.
trying to stay away trying to stay away from there only because it seems like we always end up there at 3 o'clock in the
The
morning.
Grand Lux Cafe. I mean, I was saying at 3 in the morning, it does have some great food, big portions, uh, lots of grease and ketchup if that's what you need at 3 in the morning. 10
I'm
out
just
of
trying
10
to
I recommend at 3 in the morning if you're maybe not quite sober. Grand Lux Cafe is a good spot to end up.
Oh, I agree. The food's amazing. Because I'm just trying to stay out there, stay away from there, only because that's the place that we seem to always end up.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want a little variety, just a little bit, not too much to ask.
There's actually a place in Circa. There's a deli in Circa. Um and I think it's open 24/7.
We
They
have
just
to go downtown Las Vegas. We have to
I'm
drive and
I'm just saying Circa has a great deli that's 24/7. They serve breakfast from like I think it's like midnight to 10 a.m. And they serve lunch and dinner from 10 a.m. to like 6 a.m. So like it's great. Like you see, there's like a good 6 hour period where you can get any menu item. It just happens to be from midnight to 6 a.m. where you can do that. But I so surprisingly, um the guy recommended the veggie sandwich to me. He's like, "Hey, get the veggie sandwich," and I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm kind of a meat eater. Grew up in Texas. I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, I mean, a veggie sandwich doesn't really sound that appealing, but I'm gonna take this dude's word for it. Blew me away, man. Greatest veggie sandwich ever. Had like chickpeas in it, and mind you, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm not gonna like this because I like meat on my sandwich. It's great. Cute sliced cucumbers, great sauce. It was like this big. I don't know why it tasted amazing. Tasted amazing. It tasted amazing. No meat on it at all. All veggies. But it was a great sandwich. Oh, and it had avocado on it too. And I was just like, the flavors, it's amazing.
wow. Well, it is lunchtime. We're recording, so
Yeah.
congratulations, Al. You've made me hungry.
But there's lots of fun events and things that happen after. If you've never been to ISC, um, there's just so much going on. Like, and so many fun memories happen, and then you see these people again, a few months later at GSX sometimes, and then you see them again at other conferences like RSA, or Black Hat. And I mean, it's just a great time. It's just a great time. So
It
I'll
is.
recommend people to come.
It is. Well, let's talk on some more predictions and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
just I'm gonna do a quick shameless plug because I love having people in our talking session. I also have the lunchtime session, which also means typically it is one of the hardest sessions
Yeah.
to promote and everything like that.
I'm pulling up the speaker list here. Okay, so you're gonna hear 314 speakers. So quite a few speakers.
I
You know,
we just celebrated Pi Day, so
that's right. That's right.
yeah,
So just kind of scrolling through here so you guys can see.
take a look. Like I said, we'll put the link of Discover ISC West on the in the descriptions and everything, so you can go take a look. Oh, Bobby speaking. That's always a hit in my book.
Bobby, amazing speaker. He comes to quite a few events too. Great dude too. Just all around, awesome dude. Very, very friendly.
Yeah,
Um,
for those of you who want to know someone from manga, there you go. You now know Bobby.
yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Who else? Ooh, quite a few. Quite a few.
Yeah,
Quite a
so
few.
quite a few, a lot of good speakers. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
I'm biased only because I hang out with the cybersecurity folks, and there's an amazing lineup there,
Yep.
uh, from the
Dave's
folks
a
doing
great
the
dude.
cybersecurity and the SIA SIA cybersecurity advisory board who's leading that charge.
Dave Commandant is an amazing speaker. We had him at the Dice National, the big data center event last year. He was on our panel, blew the audience away. I mean, and it was funny because he was on a lunchtime panel, just like you are. And typically lunchtime, everyone's kind of heading out, grabbing lunch, and maybe sitting down, and still they're not really listening to the panel, but they're engaging with each other as they eat, right? Dave had the house packed during lunchtime. Packed
Dang.
house during lunch. I mean, we were like blown away. Like, dude, that's awesome. So Dave, he'll be there, and he's a great speaker. Let's see who else here.
I mean, we could probably just do a whole episode on just speakers and who they are. I mean,
Yeah,
there's so many people there. My recommendation, anyone who's thinking about going, take up the Expo Hall pass and go explore, go enjoy. You know, there's a lot of cool things that's there that you can take a look. That from a guns, guards, gates, barriers perspective,
yep.
there's a lot of
Lots of
cool
fun
things.
toys. Lots of fun toys.
Yeah.
And it's great because like I was mentioning earlier, like every year, um, they you see the technology and kind of like its infancy, and then you see the iterations. You see the deployments. They're talking about, well, now we're actually deploying the technology. There's Josh right there. There, I'll
Ooh,
speaker.
who's that handsome devil?
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. So Monday, March 31st, 12 to 1 at the Venetian, room 203. So if you guys can make it, that'd be awesome. But we'll have the link. We'll have the link in the video.
and and do come out because and for those of you who don't know, I also run a security convergence conference, and I really believe that we need to start looking at the converged risks. And if we're not looking at it, we're not doing our jobs as security professionals on both sides of the aisle. Like we
Absolutely.
really need to look at that. And if the sooner we address it, the sooner we manage our risks.
Absolutely. And the good thing is like ISC West is I feel like it's a good mix of like technology and then the physical security professionals and companies. So it really is kind of like that precursor to Converge, in my opinion. It's like, you can have a lot of great conversations, and then head over to the Converge conference and really kind of put it all together. I think what I like about ISC West is that like you see the technology, but you may not know how to apply it, right? You may not quite understand all the ins and outs. The use case may not be there. This actually happened to me a couple of years ago where we were looking at a technology. We thought it was a cool platform, but we weren't really sure what use case we would apply it to. Like we didn't know if we had a use case for it. And then talking to Steve, Steve was part of Steve Bernard was part of the Converge conference last year, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
Um, you know, we had a conversation with him, and it's like, oh damn, actually, you know what? We actually have a need. We have a piece of technology that can fix that. I can do that. Let's get on it. So it is amazing, kind of like you see the technology get sensitized to it, and then you do something like Converge, and you really start understanding how to apply some of this stuff to actual business use cases. So it's real good stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm really excited this year to see the show floor and see what's there. My joke is going to be right, very much. And Al, I don't know what's your choice. I will be bringing and nursing a bottle, probably of Dom Pierre or just pure sparkling water, and seeing how many times people use AI on the show floor.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And then double shot if it's going to be people who use who says it's AI, but it's really if else and then decision trees.
Right. I'm trying to look here. So yeah, I'll probably have a bottle of iced tea, to be honest, because I played this game before and it doesn't end well. So um, probably just going to be iced tea for me. But yeah, I think AI is kind of like the hot thing in every sector right now. But I think like I, I've explained this to a couple people. I'm like, well, when everything's AI, then nothing's AI, right? Like like you can't just because you put two letters behind something and call it AI, it doesn't mean anything, right? It just so it's kind of like for me, this conference is really going to be about like separating the wheat from the chaff, right? Like, okay, you have a platform, you're giving me a demo, but like where is the AI really? Like what is it? What language models are you using? What are you white labeling something, which a lot of people do, and I'm not knocking it. Fine. That's how you get to market. That's how you get to market. But the reality of the situation is when people use .ai or AI something, they don't always know what it means. And you should probably know what it means and know what is AIing for you in the actual platform. Um, because if you have this great platform, the only thing that's artificial intelligence is the email prompt that is being fed in from Chat GPT, then it's not really doing what you believe it's doing with AI. Just putting that out there.
Or better yet, a lot of these people saying they have AI when they're just really API connectors to ChatGPT too.
Exactly right. So, um, to, to me, that's what this is going to be about. Like, okay, so are you just plugging in the Chat GPT? Fine if you are, but like you don't have your own language model. You don't have your own platform. You're sucking it in from someone else. Okay, fair enough. But a lot of people don't understand the dynamics behind it, right? So it's like, all right, come on, like, I got the list here of product categories. Um, is there anything in particular that you're interested in? Because I just want to show the audience. There's going to be a lot of things showcasing. I know what I'm looking at specifically. I got my top three list. So
Well,
for me, it's drones and robotics.
that was on one for me. Yep.
Okay, all right. I think
I,
I
I'm a, I'm a, only by virtue because I'm paranoid. I always love to see what the counter drone detection and capture and recovery is.
yeah. Let's So when you come onto I'm just gonna highlight them all just so everyone can see. Um, but 58 vendors show up, which is actually substantial for a conference like this. It's not a drone specific conference. We're still getting quite a few vendors out there, so that's pretty good. But you can see there's a lot of stuff. They'll even put the brochure to showcase. So if you're going to prep for the show, if there's specific technology you want to look at, you can kind of get some ideas so you have specific questions. So I really like how ISC does this, where you can kind of see what these guys are going to be showcasing, what each vendor is going to showcase. Um, but you can see there's a ton of vendors on robotics. Um, I'm excited. I'm excited to see some of this stuff because I think that with a lot of the a lot of the lessons learned coming out of like Ukraine and Yemen, the Middle East, um, there's been a lot of updates and upgrades to the drone technology. So I'm excited to kind of see some of that, and really kind of looking at from certain perspectives. I mean, we know the obvious application of drone technology, but I think there's a lot of other applications that we're just now starting to realize that we can tap into. So I'm kind of excited to see some of these newer use cases that people are using. And for like an example, I'll give you is I did see a video on a drone array essentially taking a fire hose up to like the 25th floor of a building and sending water into it, as kind of a firefighting technique. So I mean that I don't think we would have expected that maybe 3 or 4 years ago. The technology wasn't quite there yet. But now we're definitely in that realm. And then we're I mean, I see videos and see things, and I know we are pushing the boundary of that technology, and it's pretty exciting. So looking forward to that.
I'm going to be super excited to see what new big technology companies are, opening up their ecosystems and bringing to the floor and making it available to the industry. So, for those of you who've shopped at Whole Foods or Amazon Fresh, you have that wonderful palm scanner where you can just check out with your
Yep.
palm. It was
Yep.
really cool last year to see actually Amazon put that out there and say, hey, you can actually integrate this as part of your ecosystem.
Right.
That caught me off guard. Like I did not expect Amazon to open it up. And I'm excited because, with a company like Amazon, you have the powerhouse of their R&D at your fingertips or in your in your palm, quite literally, and actually, leverage some of the technology that they have. So I'm really super excited to see what they're bringing to the market and how it could potentially be used to provide um uh a more frictionless experience in this industry.
Yeah, well, I think all those. I'm just scrolling through the list of exhibitors as well as while I talk, but I think all that technology is really interesting because we are also, obviously costs are a big deal right now, and people are very conscious of what we're spending on technology, what we're spending on guarding, what we're spending on cybersecurity, right? And so like a technology like that, quite frankly, can save you millions of dollars and just badge fees, like creating badges and lost badges. And, somebody got locked out. Oh, I forgot my PIN, just the time savings and all that is just because we've tied it to biometrics. Now, there is obviously some sensitivities there with some employees not wanting their records given to the employer. Totally get that. Totally understand the privacy concerns there. But something like that. But what I like about the technology and the way they're thinking is something like that potentially saves the security program enough money to where they can retain people and you don't have to lay people off, right? So like that's gets me excited when we can, instead of looking at technology that will replace a human, as they say, which I don't think you can really do. But let's find technology that'll help keep a human because we save money, right?
Yeah. And let's think about like automations and technologies. I keep smiling at the fact that what was that meme or something like that or it was that the article that came out a few years back regarding I guess a robot drowning itself in a
Yeah.
shopping mall. It really did not like its job, but
Yeah.
but that kind of
Was that an Amazon
experience.
was that an Amazon robot? I
No,
can't
it wasn't Amazon. No,
okay.
what was it? Now he forgot
It
who it
was
was.
some. I remember it was some company, and they were like, "See, the conditions are so bad, even the robot off itself." You know.
According to The Verge, it was a Nightscope K5.
Okay.
Lovingly named Steve.
Poor Steve. Oh,
But anyways, I'm very super curious to see, what else in terms of robotics is coming out too as well to assist with that experience. If you guys haven't seen what's been floating around like the Instagram social media, the last couple of weeks there was a robot that goes, "You're trespassing," and then the guy just starts dancing around it, and you just
yep.
like, and it's totally confused. Like, where did that person go? It's like, where are they?
Yep. I mean, it gets really interesting. So I mean, anytime you bring robots to the floor, it's always an interesting experience because there's always that group that's like, okay, you say you can do this. Well, let's test it out. I remember when was the Boston Scientific little dog robot looking thing came around at another conference. Wasn't ISC West, but uh somebody was like, yeah, you can kick it and it'll fall over and it'll fly over and it'll get back up and get right back to position. And one of the guys is like, sure, oh yeah, let's try it out. Boom, kicked it as hard as he could. Actually hurt, I think he broke his foot because that thing is not
Oh no!
it's not. I mean, it's like aluminum, siding on it. It's not soft, but I mean, he wailed on it, and it was pretty funny. I mean, the dog like did a couple flips and came back up, and then came right back. The guy was jumping up and down like, "Oh, my foot!" And the dog just came right back. It was a mess, but it was awesome. Um, but again, robots and human interactions at a conference in Las Vegas. What could go wrong, right? What could possibly go wrong? So,
Oh, we're using those words already right now.
yeah, yeah,
Well, let's see. What could possibly go wrong? Let's see. Rain, flood, more rain. Um, I could also see.
robots taking over.
No, I was thinking casinos getting hacked again.
Yeah, that's true. That could happen. More casino hacks.
um, I don't know. I mean, if we're gonna do that, we're gonna do, it'd be kind of funny if someone called in an IED and caused an evacuation. Not that I'm encouraging anyone to do so. I think remember it's totally illegal to do so.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Unless it's the
but
FBI, we're
yeah,
telling people not to do that.
um, but that's a like total temptation of fate. Um, uh, yeah, there's so much to think about there. Um, I'm also going to be curious to just to see where the technology is going in terms of just better facial recognition, detection. Last year I saw several vendors, pretty impressive when it comes to visualizing identification, doing AL, kind of almost in some cases the cameras are replacing automated license plates reader, the ALPRs.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool. Even able to identify the vehicles. So I'm, very super curious what, innovations are there, or, if it potentially could be stopped. I don't know. I mean, let's see what happens there. But, my view right now is there's a lot of good evolutions of technology, maybe not revolutions, but good evolutions of technology that's out there. And it's seeming to, it seems like it's making the process in the FISEC space just a little bit better in terms of catching gaps, trying to reduce risks, and trying to reduce mistakes and errors.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think the facial recognition technology has been a very interesting space. I think I've been screening that technology specifically for probably about 5 years now, and not just facial, but like body, firearm, weapon recognition. It kind of all falls into um, like the same vertical, not necessarily the same exact product, but that basically visual preemptive recognition of potential threat or bad actor. Um, there was there was a brief moment there where it was kind of like the privacy laws were unclear. And a lot of people were like, well, we don't even want to capture we don't even want to do facial recognition capture anymore because potentially there's a privacy issue. I think that has been sorted out with the courts now. So I don't think that's actually an issue anymore, which is what it is, right? I mean, um, but yeah, I think it'll be really interesting because I was doing a training session almost a year ago. I think it was almost like May of last year in SoCal. And I'll drop the name, but it was Verkada. I was using their system. We did a little training session. It was kind of a heist scenario that they gave us. It's pretty cool. Like a little bank heist, and you have to use the Verkada system and the facial recognition and the AI to find out who done it, right? And it was over dinner and everything. It was kind of cool, like the way they did everything. But it was really good technology. I mean, even partial angles, partial shots, obscured face, mask, hoodie. They were still able to pick out pretty accurately a set of potential individuals that it could have been, and then using other data points, pulling in and confirming, who you believe your prime suspect is. So very it's come quite a long way from misidentifying individuals simply based on like you know a logo on a t-shirt or something like that, getting false positives. So it's come quite a long way. Very good technology. And I think what makes it really really interesting though is that the price point of this stuff has come down substantially. And so what I'm going to be curious about is, does this hit the open market, like the consumer market? Is Do we have facial recognition cameras at a good price point at our houses now, so we know who's coming up to our doors and stuff like that? That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Um, so I think, it'd be exciting to see what kind of evolutions are there. And for those of you who also don't know, there's also the new product solution or NPS event that always happens. I think it's happening this year on Tuesday.
Yep.
So it'd be kind of cool to see um, what new products and everything are going to be, presented. I had a fun time judging it last year. There was a lot of cool perspectives and people trying to bring new ideas and concepts to the table. Some worked great. And oh, by the way, just for a concept, the NPS is kind of like a mini Shark Tank event. So people come in, you judge, and you ask questions for 5 or 10 minutes and everything like that, and then you get to vote instead of like bid whether you want to support it or not. But the whole point is it's a great opportunity to showcase your innovative technology or innovative approach. So if you had something, maybe not this year, but maybe next year, unless you can get this year for some reason, try it. Um, now, any what do you not want to see this year, or what do you want to what do you hope to avoid this year?
Oh,
I have one, and is just the excessive use of AI and I'm talking about buzzwords.
yeah,
AI is going to be the one I'm not looking forward to. I think my liver will cry.
yeah, mine too. I kind of over the AI craze. Everything being AI. I think what I also you know I there's a lot of conversation about monitoring platforms and like GSOC services. And I've screened quite a few over the last like 2 years. Um, and I'm not looking forward to screening anymore.
Well, I mean, realistically, like I said, how many of the solutions are really AI? And I don't have a genuine answer because I haven't looked at everyone's models or anything like that. But you
I
know,
mean,
there's a part of me that just goes like, who, what, where, when, why.
well, I mean, I for me the argument's always like, well, great that it's AI, right? But what does that even mean for me, right? Like what is what part of your system is AI? Like, are you actually analyzing the data that is relevant to me? Is that the AI part, or is it, an output that's coming in that you like we mentioned, like you plugged in a chat GPT or Gemini or, Claude, and then you spit some data out to me but it wasn't relevant to the actual operation of the platform. I don't know, so, um, to your point earlier, I just think the AI is just the buzzword people are using. Honestly, 2 years ago, it was interesting to me because there was actually so few AI monitoring platforms. It wasn't like a new one sprouted up every week, like I've seen this year. Um, so the few that were out there, we were looking to see what they were doing and like actually understanding. They would actually walk us through what the language model was doing, what the AI was doing, how it integrated with existing systems. But since then, it's been like we don't actually know how it does AI. It works though. Check it out, it works. It's like, okay, guys, like we're gonna have to do better than that.
Yeah. Another prediction or something I don't want to be saying is the denial of the importance of cyber, or people saying that they know cyber and or they don't need cyber in their FISEC products.
Yeah.
Okay, is all
While,
I'm going to say.
while they try to sell IoT locks and door handles, yeah, you don't need cyber. I mean, that's another thing that's gonna, like, it always blows me away. And for everyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, is you have a lot of automated gates and locks, door locks, safe locks, any type of locking anything. Um, you can integrate cyber components to unlock it with your phone, right? So if you want to unlock, you can't see it because of the filter, but if you want to use your iPhone to unlock a door, kind of like you do if you guys travel as much as me and Josh do, you get the virtual key, right? And or digital key at your hotel room, and you're not even using the key card. You're just using your phone and you're just troning the door and it opens, turns green, and you can go in, right? Well, same guys will tell you, like, oh, you don't need to worry about cybersecurity. We got these great locks here. They're like, look how tough they are. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, and you can open them with your iPhone. Come on, man. Really?
Yeah, and my perspective is there are still information systems, there are still computers, processor, there's still communications. They are literally a computer or an IoT device, and
Mean, if it's connected to the internet, you need to have a cyber protocol, man.
or connected to a network that's
Or
connected to
to
the
a
internet.
network. Yeah, you like, come on.
Yeah.
So
So I don't want to see that this year, but I know I'm going to see it, so I'm not looking forward to it on that. And I think the last thing I'm not looking forward to um, is just whatever the new buzzword of the year is going to be. There's always a new buzzword, and I don't know what
there
it is.
is.
Last year was AI. This year, I know this is definitely going to be AI, but who else is
Are
going to
we
be?
are we gonna play buzzword bingo? Like,
I thought we're just doing every time someone says AI, we take a shot of
okay. All
something.
right. All right. Well, I'm wondering what it's gonna be because, yeah, I mean, what was it last year? Do you remember?
It was AI.
It was AI last year
It
too.
was AI. 'Cause it was the year of ChatGPT and AI.
That's
Like
right. Okay.
everyone was rolling it
Everybody
out.
was everybody was AI something.
Yeah, AI
Um,
this, AI that, or we're developing AI for this, and here's our prototype AI vision of that. It was.
Well,
I'm
the, the,
like,
re- the reason
oh
I laugh about that, the reason I laugh about like the AI thing taking off is because for that short, like, 10-second period when metaverse was the thing, right? Um, Everything was metaverse and um AI ML, for metaverse, and it was like everybody jumped on this metaverse train for about a year, and then it just fizzled, and that was that. And I'm like, come on, guys, really? Like, everybody was metaverse, 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 metaverse. It's like, all right, guys, really? Um, and then fizzle, poof, gone. Like, oh, we're not investing in that right now. We're gonna actually go do AI, and then boom, AI happens.
Yeah. What about you? What are any predictions of what you don't want to see and you'll probably be seeing it, or what you're not looking forward?
I'm not looking forward. So there's a couple vendor. I'm not gonna name them. There's a couple vendors who um literally have the same product every year, and they
So
tell
no
me,
lack of innovation.
Yeah, and it's like, well, this is the exact same thing you had last year, and the
Oh
year
no, no,
before,
no. There's
or the
there's
year
there's more
before.
there's more RAM, so it's a brand new product.
Just like, what?
Oh wait, no. It now has like, 3 more millimeters in lens depth and something like that.
Well, we'll just use cameras for instance, right? Like typically, if you're an enterprise, you're buying cameras, right? You're probably going to buy on like a 5 to 10 year cycle, um, depending on the needs of your business. And then you're going to have typically a 30-day storage requirement. Some go to 90, some go to 45. It really just depends. But 30 days, like actually 2 weeks is kind of like the bare minimum, like 14 days, bare minimum, 10 business days, 14 days total. 30 days is kind of what most enterprises do. Um, but it's like you have more RAM on your 2.0 version. Like we're not going to replace the cameras that we have for like another 3 or 4 years. What is this? What does this do for me? Like maybe more capability, maybe I don't know. I mean, it just seems like do you guys understand the customer you're trying to sell to? Like you got to give them something excited to make the switch before they hit the 5 year depreciation mark. Sorry, I'm losing my mind today. So I kind of, I like even if companies create products that don't work well, but if they're innovating, I prefer that. I prefer seeing those boosts more so than like products I've already seen and just minor updates. I don't know. It's
Evolutions, not maybe not revolutions, but
yeah,
some of the products aren't really evolutions. Some of them are more like, you know, increments. How about
yeah,
that?
yeah. I mean, I do enjoy when they incorporate multiple pieces of technology that aren't necessarily like we weren't necessarily thinking that these were, going to converge and they converge and you're like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. Like how did that happen? That's pretty awesome. You know, that I didn't know I needed that. Now I need that.
Yeah. I'm also last year I had a lot of fun, by the way, at I think it's the Boston Dynamics booth, by the way. They had the dog
Yeah,
that was
they
running
got the
around doing the
dog. They got
circuit.
the dog. Everyone should go take a look at the dog just for fun.
Yeah.
And somebody will try to kick it and it's funny. But anyway.
And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff and innovations that I'm just really looking forward to. I really, really want to see it and just see what they're bringing to the table, and as well as just see what the integrations are like. How the people are holistically being able to use that data. By the way, I'm very
Yeah.
curious. I want to see who's using the data and how are they using it to make better business decisions to enable the business for success. I'm very curious, especially like in California, we have the new workplace violence law. I'm very curious to see how that's going to be used. Because you have a lot of good information there if you have a robust program built out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of interested to see some of the apps, to be honest, that are gonna, be on iOS and the Google Store. I haven't seen a lot. Like I've seen integration from like in-house vendors that create a product and they have their own app in-house. But what I've heard this year, there's going to actually have some apps that interface with other technologies, so you can almost have like a control room, control center from your phone.
Oh, a portable GSOC.
Yeah, and I'm actually really excited about that because um, looking at like just as we get to more remote areas and as we get to more like lack of connectivity when we're pushing in some of these markets where infrastructure hasn't been developed. I just kind of want to see what this all looks like. And as we, you know, that's always been a previous job of mine, where we go out to really remote locations and try to do stuff and run supplies and logistics in and out with very limited connectivity. So
You bring up some good points because just thinking about this out loud, you know with the I wonder if anyone's coming up with any enterprise grade applications of the Apple Vision Pro.
yeah, yeah,
Because that's been out on the market for about 2 years now, and if for those of you who haven't played with the virtual reality, augmented reality, smart headset, whatever you want to call it, it's a really cool piece of technology. And for those of you who never experienced it, I encourage you to go to an Apple store, play with it and just look at the potential possibilities of what's there. And I was thinking, it was a great example. There was a cool app that they released where you can actually track flights, like from a 3D perspective, and you have a pinch back
yeah,
and forth. And potentially it might be a good, incident handling because now you have visualization of what's going on like on a giant real time, canvas, tracking
yeah.
people going and seeing what's happening. I mean, possibilities are endless. And that's how I look at it. That's just kind of really cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we've worked with we've worked with a couple companies that are providing similar services to that, which we found um, very applicable to the security world, right? Where, you may potentially have an incident, occurring, um, and you're not, you need a direct, EMS or police or fire to a specific location. Um, and they have an address to a massive warehouse or a massive data center or a massive campus that's like, well, we're at the campus, but where in the campus do we need to go, right? And being able to do like some actual visualization via the iPhone or a Samsung or an Android to actually get emergency personnel right where they need to be, when they come to like a big campus or they come to like a big area or like a university where it's just like, yeah, I'm at the university, but what building and what floor and all that. You can actually get them right to where they need to go, through that visualization that's syncing through the 911 system, which I thought was pretty cool, because you're actually giving the officers and the firemen and the EMS, they're actually getting a visualization of what they're about to walk into, what emergency they're going to deal with, um, which, helps them be quicker, more responsive. But, that I think that applies to any of us, right? I mean, I've looked at it from the data center perspective of like, if I have an array of cameras in a remote data center that's unmanned and we have an issue, somebody can put on one of those things and like, walk through the data center to figure out where the issue is on the rack, what's causing the problem. And then we can get a tech out there and let them know exactly what the issue is to get fixed. So lots of applications, lots of use cases. So looking forward to that as well.
Yeah. Um, and then, I'm just kind of curious if there's any other new sorts of technology that people are coming out. Like I'm such a huge fans of engineering innovations. Like I have a friend who works at a drone defense technology company. Unfortunately, not showcasing, so I'm not going to advertise him here. But I don't need the ISC West people yelling at me for promoting
Yeah.
and that. But I just met my friend the other week at a conference here in Pasadena. When we were having lunch dinner, and yeah, he was like talking about some of the crazy stuff that they just recently released, and I was like, oh, that's just amazing to hear, like what they're trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish. And I hear from my friend like, I would love to do X, I would love to do Y. I don't know if I could do X, I don't know why. And then it, here it is, like they're trying to tackle like the impossible, and some of the ideas and theories that he hypothesized that might be possible don't pan out, and you have to work on stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's funny. I mean, funny you mentioned counter UAS. I got a buddy who's at a USV company that they're also not showcasing at this event. They're showcasing another one, but um, just even with the submersible stuff, the submersible technology,
Oh yeah.
some of the stuff that's going on in that space is just like, what? Like, wait, we're already there. We're at that level already. Wow, So there's a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
Any type of autonomous anything, whether it's like autonomous fast food delivery or autonomous, submarine hunter killer, vessel. It's pretty cool all the way around. There's lots of cool stuff happening.
Wasn't there a video recently with Amazon flying drones and they were parachuting packages into people's backyards?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if that was real or not. I didn't look into it.
It could have been an AI rendering, right?
That's the whole problem. That's the whole challenge these
I don't
days.
know. But I mean, the thing is, we do see like with a lot of these conferences, we do see like you have the conversation. Well, this capability is cool, but what about this? And a lot of these companies will take the feedback and be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, why not that? Let's make it happen. And then you see the iteration the next year, and you're like, wow, they actually like, wait, I talked to them about that, and they did it. Wow, it's amazing. Um, so there's a lot of cool stuff that you see on the horizon, and you kind of know, in 2-3 years where the technology might be. And it's amazing. It's amazing how fast it can iterate, how fast it can get things moving. So that would be pretty. I mean, I don't think we're far off from that, where we have parachuting packages to our front door. Or,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, it'd be kind of interesting to see the counter UAV, take down one of these. It'd just be interesting, you know.
well, I remember when I lived in Mountain View, or Sunnyvale. I lived right on the border of Sunnyvale and Mountain View. So technically, my porch was Mountain View and my bedroom was Sunnyvale. It's kind of weird the way the apartment fell, but it's kind of funny. But when I lived there, I remember they were doing a lot of UGS, unattended ground vehicles, or so. I messed the acronym up, but basically it's an autonomous vehicle, right? That goes on the ground. But they were actually looking at that a concept. I forget the company's name, but they had a delivery truck going to um, one of the restaurants, and basically it was like unmanned vehicle full of like drinks, like Dr. Peppers, Cokes, beer, whatever, and then like little automated, unmanned forklift coming down, dropping the packages out in front of the door, all these pallets, and then going back in and driving off. Um, so if not parachutes, I think that's not too far from reality being deployed, around. If that makes sense.
Well, it also kind of wonders, if we're going to start seeing more autonomous drones, walking inside home residentials. I mean, fun fact, I think it was like two, maybe three ISC Wests ago, Ring was showcasing at
Yeah,
ISC West. And it was, kind of cool to see them there. Kind of a interesting choice to be at ISC West, but I think it was apt to be there because their market isn't maybe the enterprise, but there is a huge market in small businesses, and small businesses do really like Ring.
yeah, yeah.
So who knows what Amazon is thinking about after the acquisition of Ring.
I mean, and Amazon has shown that they can push technology pretty quickly. They can find a way to get it out there. Um, Maybe not as widely adopted as Apple, but they still get it out there, get it out the market. So give them credit for that. Yeah, I mean, I think I the UAS stuff, any UAS stuff, any autonomous technology. I think that's going to be, in my opinion, in my predictions, I think that's going to be the big hit this year. I think a lot of this stuff, like a lot of it has come to one, a price point and a capabilities place where a lot more people can have access to it to do
Agreed.
things. And what I like about that is that when we get more people with more, with different use cases using a technology, we start seeing even more innovation, right? From the ground up. Uh, so I'm really excited to see kind of where that whole space takes us, because I think um, there's a lot of application that kind of really improves everyone's day to day. Or we were talking about um, a few weeks ago with the LA fires, right? What happened there? I mean, if we had maybe some early warning, some type of technology out there that potentially um, could have addressed it earlier, that would, there's that application. But then there's also like, you know, got senior citizens who need help with stuff, right? But they don't necessarily want to give up their freedom. They want to live at home, in the home that they've paid for and stuff like that, and live, raise kids in. But now you have this autonomous stuff that can come in and help them kind of get around the house, or if they fall, you have the ability to hopefully get them back up to a place where they're safe again. I mean, there's so many applications that are just right there for day-to-day use. So I'm excited to kind of see where it all goes. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, well, that and Friends and pricey
Yeah,
set
see,
too.
and karaoke and Sandra headlining, right? So
Yeah. All right. Closing thoughts. What do you what are your closing thoughts?
I think if you've never been to ISC West, I think you should definitely give it a shot. Come out, even for one day. I mean, we've given you every reason to come. Josh has given you the pass, so it won't cost you anything. If it, except for travel out to Vegas. I,
Or do
I,
it, or just even do a day trip, fly in early morning, fly late at
yeah,
night.
if you're Southwest, or if you're out in the West Coast, or Midwest, it's an hour flight for you. I mean, just come out for the day. Vegas has got great flights leaving at night. They got some late ones. So just come by and take a look and see what it's all about. That's what I would say. Keep an open mind. Just come out. If you want to hang out with me and Josh, we'll be available. I promise, we'll be available. I cannot give you a plan on where we'll end up, because just wherever
Right.
the dice ends up. That's just kind of how it goes. But
Probably the Venetian karaoke bar.
most likely that's where we'll be. To be honest, So, but yeah, I think just come out and take a look. I've never had anyone who's come out and walked the floor leave like with like, wow, that was a complete waste of my time. Like everyone's always learned something or seen some new technology or something that they're like, man, that was really interesting. Maybe I might have a use case for that. So I definitely just come out, even if it's for a day. Network, see the technology, have a good time.
Find an after party or two to hang out at.
Yeah, and it's not hard. The after parties aren't hard to find. I promise.
Yeah. My closing statement. For those of you in cybersecurity, get to know your physical security counterparts. They're not going to come to you. You have to go to them. So,
Yeah,
this is
forgot
an
about
excellent opportunity to, be at the ground floor at their level and be that bridge builder to enable the success of your business. And remember, they're there protecting your data centers, your IDFs, your MDFs. They're protecting everything for you, including your buildings leading into your computers. So if you're not taking the time to work with them to build a holistic program, you're doing it wrong.
do it, bro. It's
Yeah.
all good. Yeah, and if you're a physical security guy, like drop the ego and say hi to the cyber guys. Like they're they do the Tron stuff that we can't seem to figure out. That makes the world move forward. So like say hi, be nice.
Yeah. All right, folks. So that wraps up our preview for ISC West. Our expectations, our predictions, and we have a lot of excitements for what's going to lie ahead. Al and I are thinking, and I'm going to use air quote thinking, mainly because we're not sure how to do it yet, but we've been talking and thinking about how do we could do a little bit of broadcasting live from the show floor and let you guys see what's going on. So we're going to work on a way to get it on there so you can experience that. But if not, happy to catch up with you guys there. Check us, poke us on LinkedIn. Happy to connect with you and do a little bit of meetup and everything.
Yeah.
Do you have a cool product you also want to check out? Do also ping us. We'll be happy to set some time aside in our crazy calendars to swing by your booth for like 5 or 10 minutes so we can actually check out your solution and how you actually manage risk too as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If you just want to hang out and talk, like, and if you watch one of our podcasts and you're like, I don't agree with anything you said, I want to debate you. Totally cool. Totally cool with that. Love doing that. Love talking through contentious issues. It's always fun. Anyway,
Yeah, just leave the tarring and feathering at home.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, folks. That's it for this week's episode. ISC West is in 2 weeks, starting from March 31st, running through, I believe, I think April 4th, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, April
So
4th. Yeah, so March 31st to April 4th. In well,
Las
I think
Vegas in
Las
this at this
Vegas.
in the Venetian Sands Convention Center.
Yep.
So come hang out with us. Looking forward to meeting with everyone, and we'll see you then.
See ya.
Uh, until the next episode, folks, be safe and we'll see you soon. I'm Josh.
I'm out.
Take care, everyone. Cheers.
All right.